What up, buddy? How y'all doing? How y'all been since the last video? I've gotten, I probably touched myself once or twice. That's about it. Today we have to do an oil change on the daily, so the race car has to go out on the street. Now I've already filmed this, and it's gonna look weird because I have different clothes on, but okay, insert now. Swing out door bars are the tits. Only 16.2 volts. When you gotta do an oil change on the daily and the race car goes on the street, some people probably hate me! I also forgot to mention that we are gonna winter drive this winter because fuck it, why not? I just don't have room to buy like another beater car. So we got some no-can Hakapatakalakas R3s. They're studded for Canadian lands and probably like the best winter tire money to buy, right? Sick. Fuck it! Now I don't know why I do my own oil changes, but I don't know. I can't justify paying someone like an extra $60 to do an oil change when it only takes me 15 minutes to do anyways. That's just my logic behind it. And if you keep your receipts with what oil you use and when you did it, it's still good for warranty, so why not? All right, so now that we have this car back in the garage, sexy Supra thing, I'd like to see how the motor is holding up now. As some of you guys know, this is a stock bottom end, so factory pistons and rods in this thing, factory rod bolts and everything. We made 840 wheel horsepower on the dyno. It was something like over 1,000 crank horsepower when we used the fuel calculator. There's a couple calculators online you can use that you use like your injector duty cycle, your RPM, and you input a whole bunch of things and then it tells you what your estimated crank horsepower would be. Because you don't get accurate readings on the dyno through an automatic transmission. Now, a little bit of info on the setup for the new people on the channel. We do have a Powerhouse Racing Series 4.5 manifold holding up this BorgWarner SXE 476. So it's a 76mm front side and an 87mm back side. It does have a small AR housing, however, we do test back pressure and it's about 1:1 at 31 pounds of boost, which means we're running 31 pounds of boost. We do have a Powerhouse Racing mechanical fuel pump setup, so there's no electronic fuel pumps in the back. Our fuel cell is right here. It's full with E89 ethanol. We're running a Amazon special radiator, which I think this Yokohama cap is actually leaking because we were pushing a lot of coolant into the overflow and then it was spiking temperatures at the track and adding more fuel, so we're losing a bit of power. We were seeing like 110 degrees temperatures at the end of the track. And if I open this up now, there's nothing in it. It's probably low. We have to drain this anyways. Over here we have our Pro J manifold. It has ID 2000 injectors in it. I'll show you guys real quick. It has ID 2000s in it right here. And then it has blanks for the secondary injectors because you can run 12 injectors with this manifold. However, they are wired. The plugs are here. If I want to run another set of ID 1700s, anything that's not this style of plug from Injector Dynamics. Big ETS intercooler. Then we got our custom piping by Roy at AFR AutoWorks. Down there too, pretty sexy. He also did this custom piping on the exhaust, which is probably the coolest exhaust ever. We are running GTR R35 coils in this beast. They're like a smart coil, so they're just a lot better. They've been tested up to 1,500 horsepower for anybody who's interested. We use 100 shot of nitrous just to spool the turbo. It's a weird thing with an automatic car, especially one with a really big turbo on it. Here's the problem. Stall speed in your torque converter is dependent on engine torque. So the more engine torque you make, the higher the stall speed in your converter is going to be. So you can buy an off-the-shelf converter that says 3000 stall, but if your engine actually makes more torque than what they think your engine makes, it's going to stall higher. So what the nitrous is going to do is it's going to give us more torque at our low RPMs to get the turbo online until the turbo can feed boost in the engine to make more torque by using boost. So we use the nitrous in a certain RPM window until we make enough boost, and then the boost takes over, and then that's how we get up on our converter to launch at like 6000 RPM. Weird explanation, I know, but it's the best I got for you. We do have a Link ECU Thunder in there as well, and that controls pretty much everything. It controls our bump box, our boost control, whatever we want it to control. It controls everything, and there's multiple maps for multiple different things. It's got like torque control strategies and all this kind of, it's crazy. It is crazy. So what we have to do is we're gonna have to pull these coils and the plugs. We're gonna do a compression test. Oh my God, I can't speak today. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull all the coils and the plugs. We're gonna do a compression test to see where the engine's at. I probably shouldn't do it because if it is hurt, I'll probably wanna fix it. But whatever. If you don't own one of these impact guns, you should probably get one because it makes life so easy. Just like, pew pew.
Simple as brr, brr.
There's so much fuel coming out of my valve covers too. Like right here, nothing but fuel. Which is probably a bad sign. Now I can't reach my little bitch fingers in here with the bracket for the coils, so I need to get a magnet. Number 1 spark plug, ah! Hey, it looks good still. I show you. Number 1 spark plug. I probably should mention the last time we ran this car, it went 147 miles an hour while hitting boost cut, so I'm pretty sure the engine's still okay. Just making sure. Now, if you don't own an Amazon compression tester, you should probably get one. Which means you can do it right from your computer. Amazon, number 1 source of not being social, going outside, and listening to other humans being fucking idiots. We're here for you. So far, our 1400 horsepower overhead valve tractor has been good as a bench so far. Bam. You just take this thingy and you put it in the hole. You should probably spit on it first though, she'll probably appreciate it more. But you put it in the hole and then it's hard to do with one hand because there's too many bends in it. But you just put it in the hole and spin until the rubber seats itself. And then you put this thing on and it tells you what your thingy is. So we're gonna zoom in on this. And chances are, and because I gotta be inside to crank this over, you guys are gonna know if it's fucked up before me. That ain't even fair, bro. Normally, you can hold the throttle wide open. However, I don't have that many hands at once, so I'm not gonna hold it wide open. $125-ish. 120 maybe? Now, the key here, because we have big cams, our compression numbers might be low, but the key here is that all of the compression numbers are even across the board. So what you're looking for is to be within like 5% across all 6 cylinders. If you're not, put a little bit of oil in each one of them. If it goes up, you might likely have fucked rings, in which case you should probably do a leak down test. I don't have a leak down tester. We're not gonna do a leak down test. We're just gonna send it anyways. Yeah, just like show them your big dick. Stop being a pussy. And then you can press this button. $125. Uh-oh. That one was 50. What the fuck? 0? We might have a catastrophic problem here. Number 3 cylinder is at 0. Uh-oh. Did we ruin the O-ring or something? It's at 0 again. I'm gonna try number 4. This one's at 0 too. Okay, maybe we have a problem with the tester? I'm so confused right now, guys. What, what is going on with my life? I need to get my frustrations out and draw dicks on things, I think. Almost had a breakdown there. The only thing I can think of is maybe we broke this tester. Like, let's put it number 2 because we know that was good. Oh, sounds like it's freewheeling still. Yeah, it's 0 on this one too. So maybe we broke the tester because it feels like there's no O-ring in this thing anymore. So maybe this is another reason why we don't buy Amazon parts. Oh, I think I see the problem here. Watch. This whole mechanism spins. Should probably tighten that down. Oh, and then there's a rubber thing. You're so funny, Kyle. You're so fucking stupid funny. Okay, let's tighten that down. Put this back in. Oh, yeah, that feels tighter. Duh. Fucking stupid ass. Okay, let's try number 3 again, because that scared me. Number 3 is actually at 135. Now, none of the injectors are firing here because I'm not actually turning the ignition on. All I'm doing is pressing the start button, which bypasses everything and just runs the starter. I'm not gonna lie, that really fucking scared me there for a minute. I was pretty much contemplating life like, oh my God, I gotta build a blog. I gotta work so much overtime. I'm never gonna be on the YouTube anymore. People are gonna hate me. I'm never gonna finish the LS build. I might as well just LS swap the Supra and eat ass, I guess. 130, 125, and 120. From our number 1 to our number 6 cylinder, we had a deviation from like 123 up to a high of 135, which is like within like a 5 to 10% range. Remember, this is a cold compression test. Engine's not warm. No fluid down in the cylinders, so I mean, that's good. That's kind of what we were looking for across the board. We were still gonna send it anyways, even if one was like at 100. Another good test to do is a leak down test. It'll tell you like where your cylinder leakage is. And a compression test isn't gonna be that accurate, especially with big cams. We do have Brian Crowher's Stage 3 Pluses, which are 276 cams. It's about the best we can hope for. So I have to shove the spark plugs back in, the coils back on. We have to drain the fuel, put some pump fuel in it and see if we can get all the ethanol out of the system, because you don't want to let ethanol sit. It'll start gunking up stuff, start rusting stuff. It is kind of corrosive, so that's like the one downfall of ethanol. So we have to get these back. Yep, just drew that on the floor. Sick. Just drew it on the floor. No more gap left. Imagine I put that in there and wondered why it didn't run. Cool. Now, conveniently enough that you cannot see on camera, that we do have 2 fittings down here on the bottom. One's like a feed and a return line for our mechanical pump. So they're already at the bottom of the tank. Just pull one off and we should be able to dump the fuel. Where did I put my wrenches? Right here. Now, because there was probably only like 1 or 2 gallon. There was probably like 2 gallons of fuel in this thing. It's a 4-gallon cell. We're just gonna waste that fuel. I'm not gonna attempt to try to reuse it. The contaminants in the pan that I just dumped it in and the mixture of fuel that I'm gonna put into it, I just don't wanna mess with it. We have like 3/4 of a barrel full of ethanol over there, and because our engine's probably like right on the tipping point of like dying, I don't wanna like get caught with some shitty fuel in there. So we're just gonna run straight from the barrel into the tank, and then whenever we drain it out, we'll end up wasting it. We'll probably lose like $20 worth of fuel, but better be safe than sorry. Now, we don't have a lot of pump fuel here. I actually bought this for... shit. I actually bought this for the lawnmowers. So this can be the tricky part here. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's currently set up only to run an E98. An ethanol takes like 30% more fuel than gasoline, sometimes even up to 60% more. So we have to try and get this to run on gasoline. So what I have to do is I have to turn the ECU on, which was going to be that switch. Turns everything on in there. Then we're online here. Someone is definitely going to comment and be like, what are you doing, Kyle? I'm going to go to fuel. Fuel setup. Fuel main. Oh, fuck. Stoichiometric ratio. What if we put 14.7 in there? Let's just try and start it, maybe? It ran for a second. Now I didn't save that to the ECU, so it'll be back to our same map. Open the garage door real quick so we don't die. Okay, so what you didn't see there was with ethanol, when it's cold, you need to add a ton of fuel for it to like catch and start. So like if you fuel enrich a gasoline engine and you add a certain amount, if you're on ethanol, you have to add like 10 times that amount to get it to work. So I turned the fuel enrich off because it was probably running pig rich to idle. And then I just changed the target air fuels from 9.7 to 1 back to 14.1 because I believe 9.7 on if you put ethanol in your car, stoichiometric for ethanol is actually like 9.7. So what I just did what I thought was right and it ended up working enough. All we had to do was get the injectors clean, the fuel system clean, so now the percentage of ethanol in this fuel is probably like, let's say less than 5%, and you're not gonna have an issue because that's kind of what's at the pump anyways. So we'll drain this fuel, we'll end up draining the coolant out of this thing, and then it'll be winterized, and when we go to fire it up back in the spring, I have the ethanol map already put back in the car. We just have to put ethanol in it, and we should be good to go. So we had a big scare there, guys. Thank you guys. So we had a big scare there, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'm on days off soon. I'm gonna have Jordan from Go Fast Garage come over. Yeah, I recommend his channel all the time. He's actually doing a budget turbo LS build as we speak. So the link is down below for his channel. If you're done with my series and you just want to continue on with his, perfect. He's gonna be running like a VSS 80, 480, whatever that turbo is, the 80 mil. You guys already are recommended to me like a million times anyways. He's going to be coming over. We're going to try and fire up this LS. He has HP tuners. We're going to delete that VAT system and dick around with it a little bit. So make sure you guys stick around and peace easy, boys.